Now we have our pan back in place over the rivets. And now I'll take a pair of needle nose pliers or a screwdriver, and I'll bend a few of these ears of these mushroom rivets back in place to hold the pan into its proper place. I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. Again, this is pretty much as easy as pushing this down and just spreading a couple of these ears out so this holds, which it's holding very nicely right now. Not going anywhere. We've installed the pan back in the oven. Now what we'll do is we'll move these wires and lay them down nice and flat, and we'll go ahead and put the bottom part of the oven together by sliding it back in the way we took it out. Alright, what I've done is just slid the first part of this back into position. It's almost there. All you got to do is push this together. We'll slide it in. See, by bending the ears open with the screwdriver in the beginning, we spread those crimped edges so that this will slide in real easy. Then what we're going to do is we're going to flip it over, and this is a little trickier, but basically we're going to push this down in position and get it back underneath the ears and pop this thing back into position. And then we'll go ahead and take a pair of needle nose pliers and we'll crimp it back together. So I'm going to go ahead and let go of the camera and push this back top in right now just by hand. Maybe a screwdriver to help guide it a little bit. Alright, I didn't need a screwdriver or anything. I just popped it back in by hand so that all the red edges are underneath the crimped edges of the stainless steel top or aluminum top, as you can see. And now what I'm going to do is just squeeze the corners together and crimp this edge a little bit with my pair of needle nose pliers. Flatten it back to square again, being gently, not to mar the surface. You can put a pair of some masking tape on the tip of your needle nose pliers to keep from scratching this. I use a pair of flat light needle nose pliers, and I have tape on them, as you can see, that I'll go ahead and crimp these edges back together. And then we'll look at the finished product. I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. Okay, and I've been working on this for about a total, since we started, of 10 minutes. As you see, I'm just crimping this back down. And there's the first corner we started at. You see it spread apart. I'll just crimp it back together. There we go. Nice and neat. Very little work. And there's our little corner. It has that little ear. I didn't show you that in the beginning. It's this little ear that I took out of there. And that's just something that bends over and pops in there. There we go. And there's a repaired Thingmaker oven. We've tested it before we put it together. It works great, as you can see. No damage. You can bend these corners out a little flatter if you want to. See how that's down just a little bit? We'll do a little bit of body and fender here. I just take my needle nose or my pliers and I'll just bend this up a little. There we go. Just to finish her off. Yeah, that looks better. There's a finished Thingmaker oven. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was pretty shaky. Next time I do it, I'll try to have a tripod or somebody holding the camera so you can actually see me making the repairs. But again, we use very few tools. Got a pair of needle nose pliers, a flat screwdriver, a pair of wire strippers, and a pair of dikes. That's all it took to make the repair. And a little block of wood. A little block of wood that was sized and cut so that it would fit right here. That we can pop, that we were able to pound right here and pound and knock this loose without even unprying this. See, we loosened the corners with the screwdriver that we drove straight down, and that allowed us to have some play. And then we didn't even loosen this top lip. We just pounded the metal down and it popped it out. And of course, before, when we had it all apart, I went ahead and took a screwdriver and kind of opened up these little corners all the way around so that it would slide together easy. And then it was just a simple matter of tightening it back down with the flat pliers there, needle nose or the flat pliers. And that's the repair of the Thingmaker. Hope you liked this video. If you have any problems with it, just email me at www.creeplepeople.com. Just leave your question or suggestion in my guest book. I kind of use that as a blog. I also sell the new heater elements that you saw, the little heater element that went around on the inside of the Thingmaker oven. If the element is beyond repair, I can sell you a new one for $10, and you'll be able to repair it that way. Thanks again. Now, after you attempted to make your heater repair, and you thought you repaired it, and you hooked your heater back up to the leads here, you can see, and if you plugged it in the wall and this heating element did not get hot, then you've got a bad heating element, okay? But don't fret. You're this far. Here is the replacement heating element I sell. Right here. It's a flexible element. It has connectors on the end that slide right over the ends of the wires that you can wrap and install in here, just like the other one was in there. And it'll bring your heater back, and you'll have a brand new element in. I sell these elements for $10 for the element only, or if you want the whole kit that comes with some thermal wire and additional connectors, instruction video, I think I sell it for $12 or $13 as a kit. Has an instruction sheet and everything with it. Now this heater element works great. There's a bonus to it. It doesn't quite get as hot as the original element, which means, sure, you have to cook your items just a little bit longer, but it won't burn your molds. We see so many molds that are black and burnt because people have spilled goop and not got it off right away, and the old heater elements get just a little too hot. This heater element works great. The only thing that I find when I use it is on the thicker creepy crawlers, or like Peeple heads, they take longer. So what I do is I either stack another mold on top of the mold I'm cooking to make it act as an oven, which about cuts the cooking time in half, or I take a double layer sheet of tinfoil, I fold it into a square and actually lay it on top of the oven, and it does the same thing. If you lay it right on top of here, it makes a little oven, and it cooks in a great, it does a great job. It cooks in about half the time. So like I said, this here heater element works perfect. You just got to use a couple little modifications if you're using the thick things, if you don't want to wait too long. You can cut that cooking time in half by making a little mini oven of it by, like I said, stacking another mold on top of the mold you're cooking to make a little oven, or a piece of tinfoil. Again, here's the replacement heater element. It fits right in here, and it goes together just as we talked before. So if your heater element is bad, when you test it, and remember, you connect your heater element up after you make your repair, and if it doesn't heat up, that's when you realize that the heater element is not going to be able to be repaired, and you need a replacement element. You can get one from me at creeplepeople.com. You can order it, pay by PayPal, and I ship right away. First class mail comes in about 3 days. And like I said, I'll have an instruction sheet with it, and you can review this video that you can find on YouTube. Thanks.